What's up, guys?
What's up, how are you?
Good. All right, welcome back to the interview room here at Little Caesars Arena and the 2024 NCAA Midwest Regional. We're joined now by the Purdue Boilermakers, 80-68 winners over the Gonzaga Bulldogs to advance to the Midwest Regional Finals. Please remember to silence your cell phones as a courtesy to the team members and the other media in the room. Please raise your hand for a microphone to be brought to you. And when you do ask a question, please introduce yourself and your media affiliation. Please note that the recording of press conferences on cameras or on cell phones is prohibited throughout the Midwest Regional. From your left to your right, we're joined by head coach Matt Painter, Braden Smith, Lance Jones, and Zach Edey. Coach, if you wouldn't mind starting us out with an opening statement, we will open it up for questions.
Yeah, I was very pleased, obviously, with our effort. I was beating a great Gonzaga team, well coached. I thought our guys did a good job adjusting at halftime. I thought our defense was much better in the second half. I thought they got a little bit tired also. Lance Jones did a really good job of getting up and getting some pressure. Braden did a good job, guarding the basketball. And then in the second half, we just wanted to stay one-on-one and not double and try to just stay home on their shooters. They'd made 4 threes in the first half, and Graham Ike had made 2 of them, if I'm saying his name correctly. And he made 2 of them the first time. He's made 7 on the year, and he's made 4 against us. So, you can go figure, right? It always seems to happen to you. But I thought our guys did a really good job of just focusing and guarding the basketball. Braden did a great job running the team, had 15 assists, which is a big-time stat, especially in a Sweet 16 game. And then we just wanted, as we went down the stretch, just giving Zach the right of first refusal. And I think that was important for us to be able to establish him down there. If they doubled, then he could pass. If not, just be aggressive and try to go right at him. But just pleased with our effort. I thought our guys were ready to play. Had some breakdowns in transition, had some breakdowns from a communication standpoint. We weren't perfect tonight, but obviously good enough to get the win.
Thanks, Coach. Let's go to questions for the student athletes first, please. We'll go on the front left, please.
Kyle, Sports Report Media. Braden, talk about the Purdue fans. You were getting them jazzed up a bunch of times. So what's it like for you to see them follow you and just be here and almost have a home court?
Yeah, no, we have an unbelievable fan base, and when you make plays and go on runs like that and get them involved, I think it makes our jobs a little bit easier. And Paint talks about it a lot, like give them something to cheer for, and when you do that, it just makes everything so much easier.
We'll go to the right side in the 4th row.
Hey, Zach, Edey Pels from AP. This might be normal for you, but Ben Gregg literally just slapped you full across the forehead at the end of the second half. I don't think it was on purpose. Can you just describe that play and how that felt?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't feel good. Obviously, he was trying to make a play for the ball. He just missed it, and he whack-a-moled my head a little bit.
Let's go to the first row here. You're good. Additional questions for the student athletes. First row on the left.
Vedant Gupta, Global Media. Coach Painter, to win an NCAA tournament, you need 6 wins. You're halfway there. What have these 3 games taught you about your team?
More than anything, with this win, we're 26-0 this year when we have 13 or less turnovers. And just taking care of the basketball, when we give ourselves, a chance to score and we execute and get good shots, outside of making them, we also are a good offensive rebounding team. And then if we do miss them and don't get it, it sets our defense. So that just kind of enhances that for us. Throughout the year, when we take care of it, we out-rebound our opponents by about 10 normally. We didn't quite get there tonight, but we're also playing someone who out-rebounds our opponents for 7.5, I think. So they're a very good rebounding team. So just the balance, just the possession war. These guys are resilient. They've been in a lot of close games. We played one of the best schedules in the country. We've been undefeated non-conference the last 3 years. Zach's played in a Sweet 16 before, so this was his second time in the Sweet 16. So we've had some experience to be in the tournament. We've had disappointment. I think anytime you have that, you appreciate things a little bit more, and your attention to detail is a little bit better.
4th row on the left there.
Pat Forty from Sports Illustrated. For Lance and for Zach, if you could just talk about Braden's command of the offense tonight. He's had a great year, but tonight maybe took it to another level.
Lance, you want to start us out?
Yeah, I mean, Braden is the head of the snake. You know, I tell him all the time, we go as he goes. You know, he runs the offense. I just try to be in the right position so he can find me. And, you know, I just try to do my best to play off of him.
Zach?
I've been saying it all year. I don't think people appreciate how good he is, truly. He sets me up like I've never played with anyone who sets me up like that. I know I wouldn't be putting up the numbers I would be without him. I don't think people give him enough credit all the time.
Additional questions for the players. Second row on the left.
Akeem Glassby, Indy Star. Lance, how have you been able to go from playing at SIU, where, you know, a place where you had a larger role, had the ball all the time, to kind of accepting a role and playing at Purdue? And for Braden and Zach, just what has Lance brought to the team?
I knew when I, you know, committed here, I knew what sacrifices I had to make. To be on a team that's in the Elite Eight currently, I will give up anything, whether that's, you know, scoring or doing whatever I used to do. You know, it's bigger than me. You know, I go to war with these guys every day, and I'll give up anything to, you know, fight for them and do whatever's necessary to win.
Yeah.
Right side here, standing up.
Zach, Denny Cap, AP Broadcast. That 16-2 run, middle of the quarter, was like 13-7 there in the 13-minute, 7-minute mark, middle of the second quarter. You stretched it from 2 to 16. Can you just kind of, a lot of emotion on the sidelines, obviously, but can you just kind of take me through what clicked for you at that point? And at that point, they didn't really get any momentum back. It was kind of one of those page turners.
You talking about in the second half?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody just started like playing. So everybody started hitting shots. Like when we play like that, it opens everything up for me. They were trying to double, obviously, and try to take away some of my post touches in that first half. Trey got some big plays for us. People hit big shots, and they kind of went away from that double. That we were knocking down threes, and allowed me to kind of play one-on-one a little bit. So it really just, they opened everything up for me.
Any other questions for the players? Second row on the left.
Josh Orsh, fan-sided. Zach, your first defensive foul came with just 3 minutes and 24 seconds left in the second half. How much confidence does it give you and your team defensively when you know other teams sometimes aren't even challenging you at the rim because of, you know, what a defender you are there?
Yeah, I think like you kind of see it with teams kind of going away from me. They were shooting a lot of those kind of floaters, getting in a lot of those hot sauce actions off their post-ups. It just probably was in their game plan that they wanted to attack me a different way and wanted to kind of try to get me moving in space. I feel like I made a lot of strides in that area, and I feel like I shut down a lot of that.
First row on the left.
Yeah, I mean, this could really go for any of the players, but all 3 games so far are kind of following the same pattern of winning the second half by more than you do the first half. Do you guys just feel like you're a second half team, and why?
Braden, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I think we just take a little bit longer to settle in just because, I mean, you know, it's March Madness, just what it is. But once we come in and really lock in defensively in that second half and we push the ball, we start knocking down shots. I mean, it's hard for teams to pick and choose what to give and take, you know what I'm saying? So it's either we're going to hit shots or we're going to give it to Zach. So.
Any other final questions for the players? Okay, guys, you can go back to the locker room. Thanks for your time. We'll continue here with Coach Painter. And we'll start on the right side in the second row.
Hey, Matt. Things were getting a little chippy there down low. It looked like there was some good, healthy drawing and all that stuff. And I wonder how you've seen Zach kind of develop in those situations where it seems like if he gets running hot, maybe it's at your advantage, if anything.
Right. Well, first of all, like, you know, if they're trying to trade fouls, some people do, by getting into an altercation. We had it happen in the Big Ten tournament, and he just needs to back out of it. And I think he did a good job tonight of doing that, and just keep your mouth shut and carry a big stick, right? And that's what I always tell him. I said, like, I don't know why you have to say anything. And you know, in society, when you run your mouth, your percentage of getting your ass kicked goes up. So we've all seen that. The guy that keeps quiet is normally the victor, if it's even. But, you know, he just, his stamina is something for someone his size. And now they have these long timeouts, and so it's like it convinces me not to take him out. Like, you know, like those guys are like, hey, he needs a blow. And I'm like, no, the timeouts are longer. So we don't have to take him out. But it's amazing someone of that size can play that long. But, yeah, they're going to try to get to him before he gets that position, and rightfully so, right? You don't want him to get the basketball at 5 feet from the basket. So he had to dribble down a little bit more tonight than he normally does. But just keeping his composure, and he's been able to do that all year, for the most part. But it's hard. It's hard with the attention that he gets to kind of understand his surroundings sometimes when they could be coming with the double ball side from the big, covering down. They can do a lot of different things. Sometimes they'll wait and wait for him to dribble, then they come, and he has to have a crouched dribble. If he doesn't, he has such a high dribble then, and now that's time. So like having that crouched dribble and being down in a stance for him, now when they come, picking it up, being a passer, normally they're okay in their doubles. I'm talking about everybody we play, but they're not always good in their rotations. And I think that's where he gets you. He's so unselfish. But just keeping his composure from all the physicality is something that's pretty impressive.
We'll stay in the second row here, Coach, but on the opposite side.
Ryan Bonaparte, Hammer and Rails. Matt, this was kind of a game where you had to wear Gonzaga down until you can finally go on a run. Is that something you kind of anticipated coming in, and do you anticipate that going forward?
Yeah, you just don't know, how the game's going to flow. You just want to stay on your rules. You want to just the functionality of the game. You want to take care of the basketball. You want to rebound the basketball, but you also want to take what they give you. And so that's something really important for individual players and teams to understand. Don't have predetermined thoughts. You can have an understanding of what might happen or should happen. Doesn't mean it's always going to. Like they mix up their ball screen coverages. So sometimes they'll hedge, sometimes they'll corral, sometimes they'll switch. They'll be in a drop. So that was something for us where now you're just not talking about one coverage. You're talking about multiple coverages, and you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared for that. So, no, it just kind of happened. And you can't go on runs if you don't get stops. And so it's the combination of runs, it's the combination of getting defensive stops, and then obviously scoring at the other end. But you just try to score. Each team just tries to score in different ways. You got to get in transition, and you got to get on the glass. If you're only scoring in the half court against quality teams, it just gets to be too tough. So just stealing points, and then, obviously trying not to let your opponent steal those points also.
We'll take two more from Coach Painter. We'll start here on the left side in the first row.
Kyle, Sports Report Media. Matt, talk about the 10 starters you have and what sacrifices those guys have made. I mean, we got 3 guys up on the stage, but how important they've been all season to this team.
Yeah, we've had different rotations. The guys that have played more for us in the past that don't play as much now, their sacrifices have been huge for us. That's a hard, pill to swallow. But you get this late in the season, and you're setting rotations, and just kind of the blend. We're putting as much skill as we can out there, and I think that's something that really helps us. I thought Cam Heidi really, played well there in that second half. Trey Kaufman didn't have a good first half. Then he starts off the second half and was really good. Then I just stayed with Mason Gillis. I thought we had that great stretch, there, and he was a part of that, and I just stuck with him. And he really gives us, a lot of spacing. But everybody helps us, even some guys that didn't play very much or play at all, just having a great attitude and sticking with it and understanding, the team's above everything else.
Thanks. We'll wrap it up with Pat in the third row.
Hey, Matt, Braden said it's either hit shots or we're going to give it to Zach. I mean, you have a million sets and a million plays, but is it that simple as far as the offensive philosophy?
Right. Well, one of the things for us that we kind of found out, you always take inventory at the end of a year. Last year, and obviously we had a very, very tough loss, but just playing through Zach after ball screens was something that we were really successful at last year, even more successful this year. So putting the ball in his hands as a decision maker and then playing off of that and getting him set up. Now we'll run some basic stuff and just throw it in. But it's better to move the defense and put guys in different spots, because if you can have that balance of him running your team and making decisions and passing and getting to the free throw line, getting Zach's post-ups, and also getting quality threes, that's the recipe for success. But we have a lot of trust in Braden. Braden's a very good player. He's got very good instincts. Came to campus that way. He's just gotten stronger, gotten more experienced, and you see tonight, he's 2 rebounds away from a triple-double.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Thanks.